Can I sit like this? Oh, I'm not even in frame.
Eddie, where'd you go?
Hi.
Eddie.
My name's May.
Is that how I sound like?
Does it sound when we like rub the cord too? Do you hear it?
I can't hear it.
Should I hold it like
If it's
this?
hitting the table, I can't hear it though. You can.
1 hour later.
Yeah.
Hola.
Hello.
This is nice.
Is it working? Yeah. Okay, great.
Welcome back to BYOT Podcast, where a group of friends in New York talk about our lives and spill some tea. Today, we have Jenn'y
Hi.
and Eddie
Hello.
and May.
Thank you.
And I'm your host for today. Thank you. I'm your host for today. My name is Dan. Today, we have a smaller group than usual because a lot of people are out of town.
But we've done a few 4-person podcasts, have we?
I think so. I think we... these girls.
They took edibles before this, so it's fine.
We're just on a natural high.
Oh, God. It's like first time shooting in the middle of the day. So the lighting is, as you see, it's like blown out a little bit, but please don't mind. Just look at our beautiful faces. And
Some of us. No, I'm kidding.
some of us. Who are you excluding?
You. Just kidding.
Today's Labor Day weekend, so
Oh, yeah.
we have tomorrow off.
What's everyone doing for Labor Day?
Oh, tomorrow?
Yeah.
I'm just getting lunch with a friend that's leaving New York. Yeah.
What are we celebrating in Labor Day?
Is that? No, that's Memorial Day. I'm like, are we celebrating the veterans? That's
Oh,
Memorial Day.
isn't that
Isn't that Veterans Day?
Cut that out. Cut that
Can I please?
That's so funny.
So today we have 2 single people and 2 people in relationship. You guys can guess who it is, but we just wanted to delve in deeper about dating in New York and talking about the pros and cons of being single and being in a relationship. So we'll keep it lighthearted for today. We'll have a pretty chill episode, I guess.
Yeah.
For single people, I guess. I mean, not even for people in relationship. I'm sure we experience being single in the city. So let's talk about some pros and cons of being single in the city, or just in general, I guess.
Yeah, I feel
Throw
like
things
the
out.
lack of responsibility is
Yeah.
one of the best things.
Yeah.
And just the freedom to do whatever you want.
Yeah.
I mentioned this before, but I was born an only child, so I never had to share, never had to compete with anything. And then I think being single sort of just enhances that experience as well. Like moving to New York, you can do whatever you want, whenever you want, and not have to just care about
Yeah.
things.
Yeah. I think when I'm single, I'm way more fun, honestly.
Me too.
Yeah.
Like you're way more fun as a person?
Yeah, as a person.
Are you gonna be boring when you...
I honestly get boring when I get into a relationship.
Am I boring?
You got boring for a second. My definition of people who are boring are like people who don't come out as often, or like it's hard to hang out with them because they're always like busy with their significant others. So
But I see you guys more often now that I'm in a relationship.
now, but when you first were, I feel like it was hard to catch you.
Should we talk about the story about when we were hanging out
What?
in the beginning of my relationship?
Sure.
whole
I don't know what
H
you're talking about.
The whole H-word and kicking you out.
Oh my god, yes. I'm still salty over that.
Would you guys know? Would you guys
What
know?
happened?
You guys want to know?
I've heard of this
Yeah.
story
Oh, you
before.
heard it? Do you want to know?
Yeah, you should share it. What happened?
So I think it was Christmas,
Yeah.
and I mean both Dan and I were in town. We didn't really have things to do. So I was like, okay, I want to celebrate with someone. I don't want to be like alone on Christmas. I was like, Dan.
Well, I don't think it was Christmas.
I think it was Christmas Eve, like
Yeah,
December
Christmas Eve.
24th,
Yeah.
which is basically Christmas. Like people celebrate Christmas on December
Eve
24th.
more,
Yeah. So then I was like, Dan, do you want to hang out? And then we like planned a whole day where we went to like H Mart in LIC. We like went like Subway there, like picked up food, and then came back here, ate dinner together, and then like watched a movie together.
Oh, that's so cute.
It's a very cute like 2-person celebration.
Yeah.
But then on the way, I think it was on the way or on the way back, Dan just brought up, oh, by the way, I'm dating someone.
I was like, yo, we were talking about that. Then I was like, oh, I started seeing someone.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, cool, good for you, blah, blah, blah. And then, like, we even talked about her during dinner, and then while we were watching a movie, all of a sudden, Dan's like, by the way, Nina wants to come over. And I was like, oh, cool, I get to meet her. And then he's like, oh, you don't want to leave? And then I was like, oh, okay, that's what you meant by Nina's coming. I got it. Okay, I'll leave. And then he basically kicks me out on New Year's Eve dinner.
Honestly, I feel
I mean,
terrible.
Christmas dinner.
I feel terrible. But
Dang.
That's cold.
And that's when I knew where I lied. Where I fell in the rankings.
It's Christmas as well, so it's cold.
Yeah, it's
Could have been
cold.
snowing.
Yeah.
It was not snowing. No, but yeah, no, I feel terrible now. I felt terrible then too. But,
Okay.
but you know, like when you're seeing someone in the beginning, you don't want them to get the wrong idea, because I don't know their boundaries. Like I didn't know Nina was comfortable with that. So
Okay, yeah, I want to ask them actually. If you were talking to someone, you had plans and you were already doing it with someone, and the guy or girl that you like hits you up and like, oh, can I come over? What would you say, or what would you do?
I'm busy. What?
Yeah,
I'd
I
say
agree.
that.
honestly, now, if it were to happen, like let's say I was single and I was seeing someone, but I was already doing something.
Yeah.
Now I'll be more more solid with my answer. I wasn't able to see Nina as often or as I wanted to because it had to revolve around her schedule. And then when the opportunity came, I just wasn't sure what to do, but I took it.
You're like, it's okay, I'll throw May under the bus.
Hi, May.
I'm kidding. If I was actually mad, I wouldn't be talking about it. Yeah, I wouldn't be. Yeah.
I think when you're in a relationship, I don't know if it's true for guys too, but for girls, I think we kind of lose a sense of self almost. And I think it's really hard to focus on you when you're in a relationship. Like you have to be considerate of the other person's feelings and their schedule and stuff. I guess that ties into freedom as well.
Yeah, I think everything, I was going to say selfish too, but it all ties to that core
Time
theme.
with freedom.
Yeah.
I don't think you lose your sense of self I didn't lose my sense of self as much. I
That's
still
good.
get to do my own thing as well. But yeah, it's the scope of things I can do is just reduced slightly, but I still get to do my own things. I probably can't go out every single night. If I was single, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, every day. I know. But now I'll go out once a month or something.
Oh, you only go out once a month?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I think being single too, I'm more open to meeting new people. Even if it's just friends, I want to meet everyone and get to know everyone. But then I think when I'm in a relationship, I'm a little bit more closed off. It's okay. I have my person.
Yeah.
So I don't really need to meet new people, even if it's just in a friend setting.
That's true. What are some cons of being single?
I guess one thing is never having that one person to do something with, because if you're not single, or if you are single and you want to do something, you have to ask around your friends. But then I feel when you're in a relationship, you have that default person that will most likely say yes unless if they're busy, Yeah.
Because I was going to say, when you were saying how it's nice to meet all these other people, I was like, that gets kind of tiring, week on week, month after month as well. So when you just have that one default person that you can go and do things with, it's just nice. It's you don't have to try and align your schedules as much.
Yeah.
You just, hey, let's do this next week, and then they're usually free.
Yeah.
But what if they don't like the things that you want to do? Then you just go back to asking people around on what
I guess so.
if anyone's free.
Yeah.
But I guess you have that first natural layer where you can just go back to your partner and be like, hey, let's do this. And if they're not down for it, then you just move to your secondary, which is your friends.
We all know Eddie's tears. The ones that are mute and the ones that are not on mute.
But now it's annoying because I have to keep checking the iMessage chat just in case I miss anything. And then also if I go back to Samsung, I'm going to be out.
It's going to be green.
I know.
I think the only thing that I saw as a con for being single was just I know you don't want to talk about it, but getting lonely over time, especially during the winter time, I guess, when people are starting to go out less.
Yeah.
I'd say that's part of it. I think that's fun for a bit as well, just having your own time doing your own independent projects.
Yeah.
I think COVID exacerbated the loneliness for me, because before you could go out, meet friends, do whatever, but then COVID, you're literally just stuck at home by yourself.
That's true.
It was fun for the first few months because I was like, games. And I think having a partner then. But then also you do hear about couples breaking up in COVID as well. So
yeah, a lot of people broke up during. I broke up during COVID.
Oh.
I did too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot. I forgot I was in a relationship.
Why though? Was it because of COVID or was it
No,
just like proximity?
I think it's just
I feel like COVID kind of pushed it.
Yeah.
You're kind of forced to spend more time together and you kind of learn more about each other. And then you like argue more and then you're just suddenly like, oh, this is not going to work out.
Wait, were you living with your ex at the time?
I mean, he was at my place a lot. So he was basically living with me.
Would you recommend dating through a pandemic? Just to help you
What do you mean?
speed up the process and know.
Speed up the process.
I don't think the pandemic should. I mean, I don't think it should have an effect on your relationship if it's like healthy.
I think maybe the real question is like, should you live with your significant other? If that's what you're asking, if that expedites the whole.
I think you should.
You should.
I think you should live with them before you like decide to get married or like take the next step. I think it's really important.
When do you guys think is the best time to move in together, though?
I think it depends on the couple.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, are you talking about yourself? Cause
No.
He's really trying to get validation.
So just to clarify, I do live with my girlfriend right now, and we have been for the past 9 months now. And I think it does like expedite your relationship a lot faster because let's say like you see your significant other like once or twice a week in the beginning, maybe we literally saw each other every single day. Like whether we were not having a good day or whether we were like super tired, we saw each other no matter what because we live under the same roof.
And you guys don't have like a separate room.
And then it's a studio apartment which we built this lofty unit, but it's still like a same space. So I think that causes like conflict that wouldn't happen if we were like not living together, because we also get to see each other's lifestyles in regard to like how clean they are, like what time they sleep. I have to respect that. Like I don't want to turn on the light and like do my own thing when they're sleeping. But I mean, also good parts as in like I get to know her better. I get to be more comfortable with her a lot faster.
Is this the fastest you've ever moved in a relationship?
I think so. The fastest that I got to know someone personal level.
Yeah.
I don't think there's like a right way to do a relationship though. I think it really depends on the people and like your relationship is different. So like whether you move in as soon as you meet them or like later on, like I don't think that necessarily has anything to do with the outcome of the relationship.
I'd say that's actually one of the pros of being in a relationship is that rent is cheaper.
Oh yeah. It is financially.
The one better, you just split it in half.
Groceries, so you could do everything split.
I guess so.
Also, a con of being in a relationship is that happy relationship weight.
I was just like gonna say that.
What?
The relationship
weight gain.
weight.
Oh shit! I haven't been paying attention.
Exactly, it's because you're so happy you're not paying attention to how you look. But
You
like
just-
single people are more aware of how they look.
Yeah,
We still need to find
for
someone.
sure.
That's true as well. I feel like being in a relationship, I probably don't care about my abs as much.
Yeah.
As I used to.
Because they'll love you abless or not.
Yeah, regardless. Yeah.
So don't date someone for personality. That's not the lesson. One of the pros is that it's just like a much deeper connection. I feel like I can't do that with all the people that I meet.
That's true.
Like I've traveled one-on-one with like a few friends of mine as well. And it's good, but it's just not the same as when you travel like with a partner.
With your partner.
Yeah, the level of comfort is like way deeper.
Yeah.
I guess there's not that many pros to being in a
I'm trying to think.
relationship.
I'm trying to think. It's been a while.
I know.
I mean, it does like help me. It's very motivating for me to have someone to like continuously back me up. Like even if they know I'm not like making as much effort as I should and things like that. Like just being able to have that accountability partner of like someone who believes in me and like someone who pushes me and things like that. That helps a lot.
Yeah, for sure. Like someone could just come back at the end of your day and just like
Yeah.
complain or like vent or do whatever.
That's true.
You know, you have someone.
Can we do another tangent from this?
Yeah, sure.
So what would you guys prefer like when you guys are talking about your problems?
To
Would
be
you guys
listened to or
Yeah,
to
we
give
talked about
solutions?
this,
Yeah, we
but-
talked about this in the other one.
Would you guys prefer to be heard or like do you guys want the solutions?
For me, I think it depends. Like if I'm mad,
Yeah.
I just need a vent,
Yeah.
then I just want to be listened to. But if it's like a problem that I've been thinking about and like I really want to get to the bottom of the solution, I will probably tell you like, what do you think?
Because I was
Yeah.
gonna say
Yeah,
like how
for
how can we tell? Like,
Yeah.
it's
I'll probably
either
ask
or.
that
Sounds
We'll
like you
ask
have to
you.
wait. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's say your girlfriend tells you a story or like vents and then it's your girlfriend's fault.
Oh, that's hard. hard.
Like, what do? You
Yeah.
just like ignore it, or like?
I'm pretty real with that.
Oh,
I'll be
okay.
like, do you want support or do you want like what I think?
Uh-huh.
And then I think from that statement they know.
It might be on them.
Yeah.
Oh.
But then usually it ends up being, I'll listen to it and I'll be like, damn, they shouldn't have done that. But then maybe like a few hours later, I'll be like, by the way, this is what I think.
Yeah. Like let them cool down a bit before you actually.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like let them vent first, and then when they do want the advice, they'll come to you.
But like you said in another episode, like the difference between emotional and like more rational people, like rational people know how to solve because they can put themselves out of that situation. But when you're emotional, like your emotions are running high, and even if you know something's the right answer, you still can't admit it or like do it. So
That's hard,
it's hard.
For me, 90% of the time, I just want to vent. Like, I don't need to hear, oh, you should have done this, or like, you should do this. Yeah.
I think the flip side of that is then what if you just keep doing the same thing?
Same problem over and over again.
Yeah. That's
And
an
then-
issue. That's a problem.
It's like, all right, keep venting, but should we just schedule this as like every week?
Yeah.
So I think that's where I think guys typically are trying to solve the issue so that it doesn't happen again.
I think one of the pros of being in a relationship, it does like mature my emotional intelligence in terms of like being able to talk about my feelings and like communicate that. Like, because sometimes like there are things that I can't really learn when I'm by myself, right? Honestly, like when I'm single, I think nothing really bothers me as much to like for me to hold grudges against.
Yeah.
But now it's like because I want to be with
Now you hold grudges.
no, because I like if someone did me wrong, then I can just cut them off, or like I don't have to care as much. But like if I really want to be with this person, then like I want to make it work, and I want to make sure that this problem doesn't happen in the future. Then I need to understand what the root of the cause is, and like if I did something wrong, I have to acknowledge that and fix that. And I also have to understand like why that person's upset, and like if it's caused by what I did.
Yeah.
I think the maturity, and then you're just like expanding and developing as a person as well.
Yeah.
Just to learn how to have responsibility, like with someone. I don't know what the right fucking term.
You're asking the wrong person.
Yeah, you're like having to be responsible for someone as well, and then like that just develops yourself. Like, fuck, my English is so bad.
I can relate.
That's okay.
It develops your fuck. It's emotional development and then helping your own maturity as well, I think.
Yeah.
Which is good.
I have a question though.
What?
So would you date somebody with like no previous relationship experience?
Like, I don't think that will be the priority for me to choose whether I want to be with this person or not.
Me too. I think it wouldn't be a deal breaker if I was actually into the person.
Yeah.
If I was like on the fence, and if I knew that might be like what puts me over
determining
it.
factor.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if I'm actually into them, I don't think I would let that bother me.
What's your answer? Why?
I think same with me. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like if you haven't been in a relationship before, it's like you kind of have to almost guide them in like arguments and stuff, and like this is gonna sound bad, I guess, but I feel like if you haven't experienced a relationship, it's really hard for you to be like self-aware and like the emotional intelligence of like caring for somebody else. Like you kind of have to learn that. Yeah.
So then what happens to people who have never been in relationships and then they meet?
Somebody will take them. It's fine. Everybody has to start somewhere.
It's like getting a job. Like they won't take you unless if you have previous experience. But how do you get previous experience if you don't ever get that opportunity?
It's like entry position and 9+ years required.
Honestly, that's true though, because I didn't have much dating experience before my current relationship as well, and they're like, I can tell, but I think they
Wait, they said that to you?
sort of, yeah.
Really? On what, first dates? They'll be like,
Not
I can
on
tell
first.
you've never been in a relationship.
No, this came later on.
Oh, okay,
I used my amazing personality to reel them in first. But I think that's true. Like, there's a lot of things I did have to learn in my relationship because.
Plus, you're an
so-
only child too, so
Yeah.
like you've always been
just-
solo dolo.
I have been solo dolo for a long time.
Do you guys believe
Single Pringle.
the people with sisters are better at like,
Yes.
taking care of?
I don't know why, but when I know a guy has a important woman figure in their life or like sisters, it's such a green flag.
What about a mum?
Yeah.
Oh, I have a mum.
Yeah, everyone has moms though. Yeah.
Not everybody has a mom, guys.
Yeah, that's true.
It's true.
Yeah, if they're like super close to their mom or they're super close to their sisters, I think it's a really good sign, because for them, they probably wouldn't want to treat a girl the way
Someone
to like
else's.
kind of imagine someone treating their sister the way they're treating a girl, maybe. So I think that's a really good good thing.
I don't think that's always true.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't think that's always true.
Why not?
You dated someone with
Basically, I don't know. Like, I've like dated people with like older sisters and younger sisters, and they were not very considerate. Yeah,
But were they close to the sisters?
I mean,
I guess not.
Yeah, I think the closeness
Yeah.
matters, because
Yeah.
I dated someone too that had a sister. I'll just give you an example. He thought giving me water was such a nice thing to do for me.
yeah,
You know?
I can relate to that.
So
yeah.
I'm like, dude, you need to try better.
bare minimum.
Bare minimum.
Wait,
But
that-
he wasn't close to his sister. And like they didn't get along and things. Like he just couldn't see her point of view and a lot of things. And now I'm like, I think I understand where this is coming from now.
But I mean, on the other end, like I've met guys with like brothers, and they have like they're so much more well mannered than people with sisters. So I don't think that necessarily
Correlates.
like really matters. Yeah.
What's wrong with giving you a glass of water?
No, because I was
mean-
like complaining about like, oh, you never do nice things for me, and that was his example of doing nice things for me.
I get you water.
Yeah,
like,
he's
that's
like, I got you water. I
enough.
never get people water. I'm like, what? That's the nicest thing you've done. Like, you think that's nice enough to point out?
That's
Yeah.
a bare minimum.
Yeah.
Would you have gotten yourself water otherwise?
Eddie, you're missing the point here.
Yeah,
missing the
it's like
point.
telling Dan like, oh, you never do anything nice for me, and then Dan's like, I got you this water. Dan's done way more nice things to me than giving me water.
List them now. See what
He got me bagels
Oh,
today.
yeah, bagels. She's the only who showed up today.
That's true.
Even from today, I can list more nicer things that Dan's done for
Just
me than
giving
that
water.
guy did for me.
Yikes.
Was that your boyfriend or your date?
Oh, a date.
Oh.
Yeah.
I feel like it's tricky because if he doesn't get you water, are you gonna get mad?
Eddie, you're missing the point.
No,
I
it's,
am, but I'm getting caught up.
I don't really get your point. I mean, I would have still got myself water.
Okay.
But it's not like I was saying, "Oh, you didn't get me water. You're not nice." But
Okay.
it was
You're focusing on the water. It's not about the water.
but it's more, yeah. It's just about like what he thinks is like good boyfriend material, I guess.
Maybe this is just how the male mind works as well.
I think
Like,
so.
I'm just focusing on the water's not. It's fine.
The water is nice, but is that the nicest thing you've ever done for someone you went on a date with,
Or your girlfriend.
It's like asking.
or like someone you're courting?
Yeah. It's like asking somebody like or telling them that you don't feel appreciated, and they're like, "Well, I get you water."
Yeah.
Why doesn't
That's
you
not.
like? Why don't you feel appreciated by that? You know?
I'll be reflecting on this all.
Yeah.
I really hope
we all learned. we all
Bleep
learned.
gets better treatment than you get her water.
But also,
Comment below.
if you're watching this, Bleep, comment below. Yes. I think dating and being in a relationship is so different. I've dated around when I was in New York. We have so many options, and if things doesn't work out or like go to the way that we want, we can immediately move to the next option. So I think that tends to make you feel more dull in terms of like being emotional with them. So like if I didn't like something, like I would just like, I'm good. But like when you're in a relationship, you want to make that happen, right? You don't want to give up like that.
Yeah. It's like learning how to commit and put effort in as well for the relationship, because like you said, in New York, it's very easy just to be like, all right, on to the next.
Yeah.
And then just...
Yeah. I think it's important to both like have relationship experience but also be single, because you reflect on a lot of things when you're single. Yeah. So I think having both is very... Why? What's the laughing?
You need both. You need everything. So much checklist. I have to be single. I have to be in a relationship
at the same
or-
time.
Yes.
You have to give water or do more than water.
We'll chat about this after.
Yeah. But like just take time after like being in a relationship to be single, because for me, like being single after being in a relationship, I think I would treat my next relationship differently than I did. Like each relationship, I think you learn something from every one of them, so you can like, I guess, get better or like build a better relationship next.
Yeah.
I do feel like you do learn a lot of things when you're by yourself too.
Oh,
like
definitely.
when you're single. I don't think I truly like learned what I liked and like what I enjoyed doing until I came to New York by myself and got to enjoy a full year like being single.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because before like I would have to like cater my needs to like my girlfriend at the time, just because like you think that's the right thing to do and like respecting their like whatever they want to do. You don't really get to ask yourself, oh, is this really what I want to do, kind of thing. New York is a great place to learn about yourself, because I also spent a year by myself in Georgia. I don't think I did as much. Literally all I did was like work, go to gym.
I think New York is like the best place to be single. Yeah,
for sure. Hence the city is full of single people.
I was gonna say another pro of just being in a relationship is expanding the horizons of like what your interests are as well. So my girlfriend, for example, really likes flea markets. I've never been to a flea market in my life.
Oh, really? I love flea markets.
But I went to one for the first time like 3 months ago. And I was like, oh, it's actually kind of cool.
What, Brooklyn flea?
This was back in Sydney.
Oh, I see.
Because there's one which like I always was close to the city, but I never went because I was like, why would I go to a flea market? And then she wanted to go check it out, so we went. And it's actually pretty cool. And she was like telling me like, oh, this is what you look for. This is how you tell if it's like a good flea market versus just like they buy everything from Temu. And then there's like food trucks, there's performances, and it's all really cool. And I think just having that and learning about your partner as well, getting into their interests as well, it's just there's a lot of unexpected joys that you can find with that. I feel like I can hear people in the comments typing, can't you just do that with friends?
That's what I was thinking.
I mean, you could.
You could, but I think because of being single and like the freedom and the options, I would be more likely to be like, no, I don't want to go because I don't like flea markets, for example.
You're kind of forced to do things in relationships because you don't want to disappoint the other person.
But you could end up liking it.
Which is, it sounds bad, but I think when you actually go through with it, you just learn more about yourself, what you like, what you don't like.
I think it's also about the depth. Like if my friend was like, I want to do this, and I was like, okay, I'll try it with you. But if I don't like it, I'll never do it again. But your significant other, if she likes it, you're gonna constantly hear about it. You're just gonna be forced to learn more. So you learn more that way too.
Do you guys know about Bagu?
Yes.
What's Bagu?
Bag company.
Yeah, it's the bag company. I've never heard about them, and now I can recognize their designs.
Isn't it an Australian company?
Oh, is it? I don't know. See, I don't even know.
I just remember when I first bought a Bagu. Oh no. Okay, funny story. I got.
Let's just explain what Bagu is.
Okay.
So Bagu is just like the foldable grocery bags, and they have
other types
designs.
too.
They like fold, and they come with like a little packet, and you like. And they have like the cute designs for laptop cases and everything.
Yeah, it's just like a bag company.
I think it's very big amongst like Gen Z girls as well. But I was like, it's just a grocery bag. I don't care about it.
Well, they also sell like tote bags too.
Tote bags and stuff.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen someone wear Bagu, but
is it the one that they're selling at Tesco?
No.
Similar though.
That style, but they have their own shop. It's not sold, or it's actually sold in Urban Outfitters. And, yeah. But funny story, like I found a Bagu, brand new, customized at a movie in the park in SF once, and then I took it because no one took it. Yeah, no one claimed it. It was like at the end of the night. It was like nighttime already, and I like kind of shouted like, "Is this anyone's?" And then no one saw it. I was like, "Okay, I'll take it." And then so I went home, and then I bragged about it to my friends. Or like my sister's like, guess what? I got this free tote bag. I found it, and then I want to brag about the price, so I looked it up, and then I don't know why, but I saw Australian dollars first.
Oh, maybe it is.
Yeah, so I don't know. We'll have to do research on that, but it was $60 in Australia. I was like, oh hell yeah, what a good deal!
Good deal.
And I still wear that tote bag to this day, and this was like 3-4 years ago now.
Oh, it would have been pricey. I think I always buy the grocery bags, and they're like $20 to $40 for one. That's just an example of something that I have learned a lot more about now that I'm in a relationship.
Yeah.
Or about when to dye your hair, or like what color to dye your hair for what season.
Yeah.
But that's what you guys were talking about earlier.
Off
The
camera.
context is, I know, like purple shampoo,
brass
your hair, toning your hair. It's things you learn.
Yeah.
Jenn'y, make sure you see the thing.
What thing?
You look like Ghost earlier.
Oh, am I gonna look weird?
No.
I don't really
Not
care.
more than
Only if we make a short
Eddie's
time.
just trying to fight someone today.
He's always trying to fight.
Is it water? Isn't getting water?
Okay, we'll talk about that after. That was a personal.
Maybe the viewers want to know.
The water debate.
Yeah, just a pet peeve of mine. It's
We're
fine.
gonna have a
a
full
pet
discussion.
peeve.
Yeah.
Getting someone water is a pet peeve.
Basically, I always bring water, and she never brings water, and then she complains that she doesn't have water. And I'm like, I have water, and this has been going on for like a year and a half.
Oh, like when you guys go outside.
And I'm like, I have water for you. Why don't you bring your own water? And she's like, no.
Because is it because she's expecting you to always bring water now?
And I'm like, well, I bring you water. Isn't that good? But no, it's not good.
Wait, she's mad at you?
Why is she mad?
She doesn't get mad, but I think I can use I bring water as a positive example. And you're like, you can't. And
Oh,
I'm like,
because
what?
I said that?
Yeah.
I think it's
Well, this
different.
is a different context.
The context is
Different
different.
context.
It's just
It's different context.
Oh, Eddie took that personally.
It's different
It's a trigger.
context. It's not like is complaining about you.
no, but if she was like, you never do anything for me, I'd be like, I bring you water.
Oh.
And, yeah. No, I'm worried she's gonna be like.
But you do nicer things for her, right? Like,
Water's
I think that's sweet because she always forgets. So it kind
Yeah.
of shows like
Yeah.
acts of service almost, like you're caring for her. But I think in May's context, maybe it's
Example?
just like
okay.
it's not as deep. It's not because May doesn't have water.
if you want the full context, like he would make fun of me, like do all these like kind of
He gets you water.
asshole things, like comment on like my body, things like that, like things that you shouldn't be saying. So then I would be like, you're so mean to me, and then he's like, what do you mean? I give you water.
Yeah, it's
And-
different.
Alright,
It's
that's different.
different.
And then
Different.
it's not giving me water like he always brings water for me. It's like one time when I came to the house and I told him I'm thirsty, so he put water in a cup and gave it to me.
I knew you were gonna say something like that. It's
Yeah.
always
Dumb.
something like that. It's
He's
always
like, I
something
gave you
like-
water. And I'm like, you think pouring water in a cup is the nicest thing you've done for me? Then that, I mean, that's already a red flag.
He
in our
literally proved his
relationship.
point by not.
Yeah.
My
Say
ex
that.
has definitely said something similar. Yeah,
I
for sure.
kind of get it though. It's like an example. It's the most recent example.
Yeah, but I mean, he didn't. We had been going on
Yeah,
for like
that's
4
true.
dates, you know. Like,
Yeah, yeah. You
give
should've
me a
pulled
better
something out,
example
yeah.
than you think giving me water is like the nicest thing you could do for everyone. And then he was trying to make me feel special by saying, I don't do that to my friends. Like, you're saying when your friends come over, you don't give them water? Like, that's common courtesy, I would think.
It's kind of fucked up.
I feel like that would have made a good short.
I know, I think that would have
Yeah.
been a good short.
Yeah.
Fine, you can keep it in, but censor her name.
Oh yeah.
But my water's also like good quality. It's like cold. Do you want to have some?
No,
Have some? It's really cold
Okay,
water.
okay.
Why are we talking about?
I got hung up on the water.
Right.
Yeah, it's fine.
That's nice, right?
Good
I
water,
bring
good
this
water.
everywhere, and she never brings water. Ever.
Are you more triggered because she never brings water?
Literally. She's like, oh, I'm just going to bring like a small handbag. And I'm like, you don't want to bring water? What are you going to drink? And then she'll complain about a headache and be like, oh, I haven't had any water today.
Had any water today? She clearly knows you have water.
Yeah.
I know, but that's what I mean. But like, the water is a nice thing. No, it's fine.
That's like basically like asking the girlfriends like, what do you want to eat? And they're like, oh, I'll just have some of yours. And then they literally eat all of yours.
I know, it's just,
Just order 2 things.
I'm just like,
but then when I do order 2 things, she's like, I told you I'm not hungry. There's no winning. And that's why we can talk about cons of relationship.
Yeah, these
And I'm
dumb
not gonna
arguments.
oh god.
The title of this episode should just be water.
The boys
Yeah.
venting about their relationships.
Yeah.
If you want an
do you
episode
want us
on
to
that.
just listen to you, or should we give you some advice?
Yeah. Should we give you advice?
Yeah, what's the advice actually?
I don't know.
Don't bring water.
Bring water.
To suffer together.
I feel like girls sometimes just don't. They only drink like an iced coffee in the morning, and then don't drink anything else. And they're like, wow, I have a
Dehydrated.
headache. Yeah, and I'm like, bro, you did this to yourself. And then she gets mad because I call her bro. It's like,
This
It's
is
fine,
just
sorry.
Eddie venting about being in a relationship.
oh, are we recording? Sorry.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
Moving on to the next.
Let's move on. So we talked about the pros and cons of being single and being in a relationship. Just going back to the beginning, what are some good ways to meet people, like meet new people for dating purposes? Like, is it like through your mutual friends or going into the events or even dating apps?
Mutual friends would be ideal,
Yeah.
but I've also gone on mutual friends dates that have like not ended well,
Mhm.
and now it's awkward for the
Yeah.
mutual friend.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Very
the case
risky.
too.
High risk, high reward.
If it works out, then you guys have like a mutual friend to hang out all together and stuff like that.
Yeah. I also realize I treat dates that are mutual friends a lot with more respect than like strangers, which is kind of bad in a sense, but yeah, like I'll actually like end it in a respectful way rather than ghosting or
So you would ghost the mutual friend?
I wouldn't ghost the mutual friend just because I'm scared I'm gonna see them again.
Is that why only reason why you didn't ghost me? Because we knew Quinn together.
Well, I think our situation was different.
Yeah,
I mean, we didn't really. Yeah.
I don't know if you want to talk about it.
Hinge.
Eddie and I, we met our girlfriends on Hinge.
We met each other on Hinge, actually.
Hinge BFF. Yeah. But
what do you guys think about meeting someone at the workplace?
So at my old company, there was a lot of in-dating, which is why I think it's fine. But now that I'm in America, I'm like, I don't know if that's accepted. Like,
is it allowed? Like, do I have to talk to HR about it? I feel like I've only been on smaller companies because I've been only on startup companies and like I've been on remote environments.
It's more awkward for you.
Yeah, I don't find any of them attractive. So.
Yeah, because I was thinking about it because I used to love meeting people at school, right? Because you see them constantly.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you guys, but if I see someone more, I find them more attractive.
Yes.
So like naturally, you just start building attraction towards the people that you see more, hang out with more, and then if you have things in common and compatibility, you start to see them more in a romantic way. And I was thinking about what's the most equivalent to school?
Work.
Work.
Yeah, work.
Yeah, but
Suffering together.
The more I think about it, the more I think it's okay.
Oh.
But then I think about HR and I think it's not okay. So that's why I'm very conflicted.
Yeah.
Like it depends on the position too. I guess like whether you guys are the same team or not.
Yeah.
And then like
or if they're like higher level than you. And, like,
that's another thing.
Yeah, I think if it's like a separate team, that's probably fine.
Better.
How about you, Jenn'y? Because yours is a different type of work.
Well, I work in healthcare, so I don't think it really matters. I don't even know if we have like an HR thing.
Really?
Yeah. Nobody's working on the same team or anything.
Yeah, I was wondering because I've actually had a office fling. Yeah.
Was it like a serious thing or just like Christmas party fun times?
It was something I had been debating because I had been developing feelings for him because we were close. And it was like a relationship where we became friends outside of work. So we were like talking constantly. And then, yeah, naturally I started getting feelings for him. And I think he felt the same way. So I could see us going towards that direction. And I knew I had to like think about it and like be careful of what I did. Because I was a little bit more senior to that person too. So I was thinking about it. And then, I mean, we eventually gave in. But when we ended, it got super awkward too.
You're fired.
No, not that.
It's kind of like that airport theory where it's like, is he attractive or is he just my age? And we're like in the same area. Have you heard of that?
Why is it called airport?
Like people say like when you're in the airport and you like see somebody attractive, you're like, are they actually attractive or are they just like my age? Yeah. I feel like that applies to like workplaces too. Yeah.
Why is it? I'm just wondering. Why is it specific to airport?
I don't know.
Don't you like
it's like
pay attention to specific people, like people that look similar to your age?
Oh.
Like your airport crush kind of thing.
But can't you do that anywhere? Like at a grocery store? Like, they look anywhere. Like my age.
I think you're just more aware of your surroundings
in an airport.
Airplane.
How about subway?
I try not to pay attention to
New
anyone.
York subway is different.
Avoid eye contact.
I look around.
In today's society, like dating apps are so common that people just focus on that. Like I feel like it's almost harder to meet people naturally now because so many people are dependent on the dating apps.
Yeah.
Why do we prefer so much like meeting someone naturally over dating? Like why is there such a big taboo against
I think there was a stigma with dating apps when they first came out. Like Tinder was just the hookup app. I don't know if it still is, but that was the big one. So I was almost like ashamed to say that I met someone on a dating app. But I think now it's like because they're so prominent, you don't go on dating apps unless you're like trying to find something as well. Because when people are out, they're just trying to have a good time, do their own thing. And you go dating apps if you're actually looking for like relationships or anything else.
Yeah, I was gonna say like similar where dating apps are so much, I feel so much pressure. Like if I'm going on a date, I feel like I have to tell them an answer, like if I'm interested or not, versus if I meet someone in person, it can be left vague, which I kind of like, because you're kind of like wondering like, oh, does he feel the same type of chemistry that I'm feeling right now? And I think that it makes it a lot more fun.
Yes.
You know, and it makes it a lot more interesting. Yeah.
So you're the type of person who would want the other person to be very vague about their intentions. Is that calling for like a? That's calling for dangerous.
I don't think that was the point.
Yeah, that was not the point.
That was not the point.
They're missing the point.
This is what happens when you don't listen.
You get it?
No, I was thinking the same. You.
No, it's like
you like the mystery. Sorry, go on. I don't know why I said it like that.
When I first moved here, I found your profile.
Oh.
And then I blocked it.
Good job. No,
Damn.
I would do the same.
The first thing I did, I changed my location to where yours so I can find you and block you too.
Oh, that's so funny.
So you don't see my profile.
That's so funny.
It's okay, I found you first.
That's so funny.
God, I couldn't find
Wait, so you blocked her and yet you could still see his
No,
profile?
No,
I
she
blocked
found me
him
first.
Oh,
yeah.
Wait, but that just means you still found her though. I thought blocking meant the other person would never see you.
Yeah, he never found me.
No, I
Because he
thought.
blocked me.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I tried to.
Oh, you
look
tried
for
to. I
her.
thought you actually blocked her.
I didn't find her, so I was like,
I
maybe
see.
she's not on Hinge.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
As soon
was
as
like-
I first met him, I was like, did you see me on Hinge? He was like, no. And I was like, good.
I couldn't find it.
That's a really good tactic.
Yeah.
I gotta start using that.
Yeah, I was like, okay. Like, no one knows me here except this girl.
Yeah. I was like, except for Daniel.
Oh, I see. And you thought the same? Like
Yeah.
you didn't know anyone else except Daniel?
Yeah, I was like, I'm not going to be
No.
seen by this guy.
Okay, wait, going back to that other topic, I just don't want the audience to be confused about what me and Jenn'y were talking about and how you guys didn't get it. When you meet someone in person and like at a mutual friends party and you meet them and there's vibes, it still doesn't necessarily mean they're gonna like take you out on a date for something romantic. So you don't, but if they do ask you out, it's still not like for sure thing that they want to like see you romantically. So it could still be a friend date. So what I'm saying is like I feel less pressure to like see them romantically, because to me it's still vague, where we could just be better friends or we could be something more, but I don't feel that pressure to be like yes or no about it at that point.
It's like when you meet someone on a dating app, it's like you have to see them in a romantic way.
Yeah, you have to.
And
No,
like,
you don't.
I mean, you can see them in a casual sense, but other than you, I think majority use it for romantic.
No.
Unless if they explicitly say in their profile, looking for new friends.
I'm seeing in a way that like, do you not want them to be more intentional about it? Like, even if it's just mutual friend, they can just be like, oh, this is like, I want to take you out because I'm interested in you. Like, not like I want to take you. And if it's for friendly reason, then they could say that. But I thought like what you said was like keeping it vague by like, I can take you out, but not really identifying my intentions.
I'm with Dan as well on this.
It's less about being like vague and like the mystery, but it's more about like getting to know them in a sense where you don't have to feel like you have to see them romantically.
Yeah. Because your question was meeting them. The meeting the first time is just at a mutual friends party. The date is probably the second part. Meeting them is
Mutual friends
party or whatever, wherever you meet them.
Yeah.
But the first time meeting a Hinge person is going to be a date because you have to set it up.
Yeah.
So the first time of meeting the mutual friend is very, very no pressure. Like you're probably like surrounded by a lot of people. You get to talk to them, but if you don't vibe with them, go somewhere else.
I get,
You know?
I get that now. I was just talking specifically about it, leaving it as vague.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think I agree
You
with
guys
Dan.
are hung
They
up
focus on the
I know
wrong
they
things.
Mystery.
Y'all have like tunnel vision.
They hear one keyword.
They just like focus on that.
The other point that I think, I don't know if Dan was trying to make it, but what I'm thinking is because it's like sort of you're just hanging out, for me, I feel like I can either bucket you into like a potential or a friend.
Yeah.
And you can't like, once you're in that bucket, you stay there, which is why I'm trying to figure out as well, like, are we just hanging out as friends? Like, do we see something happening?
Yeah.
Because, you know, like, we all know that I'm swiping on the sides as well.
Yeah.
So that's why, like, if we just keep hanging out as friends and I don't see anything, I'm just going to go back to the apps and look for someone else.
Yeah.
So that's why I think even if it is someone you meet through a mutual, maybe it's up to the guy or it's up to someone to sort of define and push it further as well.
No, for sure. If that's what you're looking for, you should definitely define it at some point. But like for dating, the intention is clear right away. Like, I mean, on the apps, the intention is clear once you meet them what it is. Either something dating or something casual, but something romantic. Versus, you know, at a party, it's like vague in the beginning, but once you can set it clear.
Okay, I sort of get it. It's like the low expectations going into it.
Yeah.
I think that's fun, for like a few dates. And then when it's like 6 or 7, you're like, what the fuck's going on here?
Yeah.
Am I the problem?
Okay.
Would you guys ever go to like specific events like by yourself or like with your friends to see some people, like
Would
to
you
meet
go speed
people?
dating? Is that what you're asking?
I would totally go speed dating.
Oh my god.
Not
I
just
would
speed
totally
dating, maybe like going to Brooklyn Mirage and like seeing someone that you're interested in. Like, would you go up to them and like, is that the best way?
I feel like people are less prone to going up in person these days because of the apps. Yeah, nobody really like makes an effort outside anymore.
Do you want them to though?
I want them to.
Yeah. Yeah, same. I don't like the apps.
All right, guys.
No apps.
Girls want you guys to reach out to them.
But also, don't be ugly, because what happens if someone ugly just comes up to you?
I know. I was just gonna mention it also depends on how you approach them. Yeah. And yes, that also plays the attractiveness kind of plays into how you approach them.
Because I can definitely I feel like you guys are saying, oh, I would love it if someone approached me. And
that's
then
some random people.
Imagine us in a club and you're like, oh my god, these guys are trying to talk to me.
That's no different than the apps though, and the likes, right?
Appearances makes it easy for them to be more approachable, I guess.
I think in person it's personality more than looks.
Yeah.
On apps it's
more looks.
Because what if like you meet them in person, but like you can't really tell their personality. Like, it's more like their vibe or like their riz, not like a personality.
Yeah, I think the personality, if you talk to them in person, it builds their like attraction as well. Like it makes them look better.
Yeah, for sure.
Whereas if they're kind of not great on the apps, it's easier just to swipe out of it as well.
Yeah.
And you don't get the chance to learn a bit about their personality beforehand.
Yeah. And in person, you get to hear their voice and like their mannerisms. On the apps, you just see their face.
Yeah.
Doesn't Hinge have voice notes as well now?
They do.
Oh, yeah.
But I honestly think it's cringe when people use it.
Yeah.
Like, there's people who show off their accents through the voice prompts.
Or like sing.
Yeah. For me, I've realized voice plays a really big factor. Like, when I really like a guy's voice, I find them like way more attractive. And then recently I found a guy that I found attractive, and then I started talking to him, and then I heard him and I was like, oh, never mind.
No. Never mind. That is not good.
No, voice is very important, I think. Yeah.
Out of those 3, you guys prefer the mutual friends?
I think for me, yeah.
You too?
Yeah, I'd rather be friends with somebody first and then slowly transition.
Yeah.
Let's see how they get into the relationship one day.
Like and subscribe, and you can keep up to date with me and Jenn'y's dating adventures.
Because I said that too. Like, I think biggest reason why I was very hindered on using the app was because I knew they had other options.
Yeah.
I'm the type to like have to give it all to one person kind of thing. And like I feel guilty for like dating around, right? Like if I'm seeing someone and then I feel like I can't see someone else until like I close that loop. But like one thing about Nina was like it was pretty clear because we went to Atlanta together and then we spent time together, so it was pretty much exclusive right off the bat. So I think that made it a lot easier.
So you're saying you don't like the thought of them dating other people?
It's not that I don't like it. It's just like why do I bother if I I don't want to compete with someone like else. Like I just want to like be genuine and like be myself, and then I want them to like enjoy my presence for myself too. Not like oh, if something goes wrong, she can just go to someone else next on the list kind of thing.
Mutuals is probably the easiest, but I also didn't have that many friends moving to a new country. So like all the people I knew would just be people I knew from Australia as well. So I like online dating actually. It's rough for the first like few months, but then eventually you just got to get through it, and
honestly
it works. So
what's rough?
Like
online dating.
Oh.
Just in general, just like the whole
like getting used to it,
and then it's just tiring as well because you have so many options. You go on so many dates because you don't want to miss anything. but
same repetitive like
It is,
conversations and things like that.
Yeah.
But I feel like it just comes. I mean, I don't know about you, but for me, it was like it came at the most unexpected time. Like I wasn't really looking for anything. I just had the app, and then we just started talking.
Yeah.
So
My expectations started dropping, and I was like, you know what, I'll just go on this. They're not bad. And then it turned out really well. So.
yeah.
Actually, yeah, I'm an advocate of online dating.
Okay. Like, question for you guys. Like, what about Bleep and Nina that made them stand out from the rest of the girls that you went on Hinge dates with?
I think I've talked about this in a previous episode, but there was no like immediate red flag, that was like...
That is so low.
I know, that's like how grueling online dating was in New York. I think it was after a year when I met Bleep. And then like the first date went well, and then I was like excited just to see her again. So I went on a second date, also went well, and the excitement just kept growing after each date. And that's when I was like, oh, okay, I'm like pretty happy with her.
Wow, okay.
Going to the exclusive route helped a lot, and then also being from Atlanta together. Another thing. I want to know, what are some best dates that you guys been on?
This was a second date. This is like my default answer.
Jenn'y's thinking so hard. He's like looking back.
May's like, I'm ready. This was my second date.
Like, shit, I don't have one.
Make something up.
Memorable.
But yeah, this was my second date. I was just visiting New York at that time. It was like that one time I lived here for a month before I fully committed. And he took me to Omakase. And then we went to Sojo Spa in Jersey.
In one day?
In one day. So we went to Omakase. We went to Sojo Spa. And then after Sojo Spa, we went to this pocha in like Fort
Jersey?
Lee. Yeah. Called Exit 205 or whatever. Because at that time, New York had a curfew. I think by like 12 a.m., everything shut down. But Jersey didn't have a curfew. So we could stay out till like 2 a.m. at that time.
Yeah.
So we went out there because we had more time to do stuff. And then after that, he Ubered us back to Times Square, and we just walked around. And then he bussed with me home to like take me home. And then he went home himself. But yeah, it was really nice just because like it was very, very thought out. Like he planned everything. Like he bought all the tickets that were necessary, like transportation tickets, and then like the spa tickets too. And you know, it was a really good experience, like going to a spa and getting omakase and being spoiled. But
so expensive dates.
Yeah.
expensive date, but
Expensive
I think it was
dates.
also very thoughtful, and how he also like walked me home and like took a bus with me so that I was safe and things like that. And it was very thoughtful too.
And that was a second date?
Second date,
Okay.
yeah.
First date, that would be extreme.
First date would be extreme.
Would
yeah.
that be a little too much for the first date?
Maybe depending on how much we knew each other. Like if we had been talking on the phone and I had known him more and I felt closer to him, then I don't think it would have been as extreme.
Yeah.
But if it was like we barely talked on the apps or like texted, and then that was the first time meeting, then that might have been extreme.
Let me ask you a follow-up question then. You don't have to answer. But what happened to that guy?
Oh, well, we went on, I think, 2 or 3 more dates after that. But then I moved back to SF for like a few months.
Oh.
Yeah. And then I told him, like, by the way, I don't really see it going anywhere. Yeah.
So I guess good date doesn't necessarily equal a good guy.
Yeah. But I still like hang out with him sometimes. Like he still asks me on dates sometimes.
Oh.
Yeah. And I also
And you're saying?
also go.
Unless it's omakase now.
Are we doing the thing again?
Oh my god.
It's
No,
omakase.
I think I feel like whenever he takes me on dates now, like it's very, very thoughtful. Yeah.
So that's the date itself being good, but just the chemistry with the guy.
Chemistry was good, but it wasn't like the best either. You know.
But you just like the experience and then
Yeah.
the thoughtfulness.
The thoughtfulness, and I could tell he really listens to me and really pays attention to me, because he like at the pocha he just listed a lot of things that he liked about me that I think normal people wouldn't catch on or pay attention to. So I was like, wow, he's like a really good guy. Like I could tell he really liked me.
What about you, Jenn'y? It doesn't have to be the guy. It just a date
it could
that
be
you
the date
enjoyed.
itself.
Like
Okay.
the food that was really good.
I went on a date.
Yes, that's what we're
Okay, so on my dating app, like prompt, it said like I mentioned something about liking like the peanut M&Ms, like how I could like finish like a family size of them in like a day. So like he brought me like peanut M&Ms.
Oh.
Yeah, and this is the first date, so I thought that was like really
that's
sweet.
Yeah.
And then he like had a car, so he like drove us to get I think it was like Kazunori or something,
okay.
which was nice. And then I guess just our conversations like flowed really well. And then like on the car ride back home, he like dropped me off, and we were like singing like Hannah Montana songs and like old 90s music and stuff like that. Yeah. I think that was probably the best date that I've been on in New York. Yeah.
What happened to him?
Yeah.
He like asked me to meet up again, but I was just not. I have this problem where I don't want to go on second dates.
Oh,
yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
So it wasn't anything wrong with him. It's just
No, I think he's a good guy. Like I had a good time, but I just like this was a year ago, and I don't think that I like wanted it to become anything. And I think that if I saw him again, maybe it would have. But like I wasn't interested. Yeah, enough, I guess. Yeah.
So I guess good date doesn't really equal relationship.
Yeah.
Did you finish the peanut M&Ms in one day?
Yes.
I don't know you
On
like
that
that
date?
much.
Yeah, I love peanut M&Ms.
I just remembered I said that was doing too much, or like it could be doing too much of my date. But I've realized I've gone on road trips as my first date.
Oh my god.
What if they took you to somewhere else?
It's very controversial. Yeah, huh?
They took you to some random location.
I know. It was risky.
Just two of you
I
guys?
personally wouldn't recommend it, but I do all the time.
Do all the time.
Not all the time.
All the time. How many road trips have you gone?
You have been
I've
away
done it
for
like
a bit.
I've done it like 3 times.
Oh
okay,
my-
no, 2 times as first dates.
Where
Is it
are you
like-
going?
And are they multi-night trips or is it just
It's like
a-
yeah, my
Bruh.
yeah, I know.
I don't even want to sit through like 2 hours of coffee.
Yeah, luckily, like, okay, so I did tell him my concerns, like, oh, what if you're, a serial killer or something? So he's like,
what would they answer to that?
he's like, we could FaceTime if you feel better.
So serial killer doesn't FaceTime?
I don't know, like, you can at least get to know them better, like.
You write down their features and report it to the police.
Oh my
If I don't
wait.
come back home.
Asking
wait.
for the vehicle registration.
Yeah.
You have her
number.
find friends, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Actually, I've
great.
done it more. I've remember
Oh
one
my
more.
goodness.
I mean, I get getting offered to do it, but I don't understand the thought process behind the guys that are planning that for
Oh,
first date.
yeah.
Because I personally wouldn't go spend a night somewhere random with a girl that I never met before.
I think for guys, it's like less.
It depends on the
scary.
type of guy as well. I can see guys who go like skydiving as a first date as well.
Actually, that sounds pretty fun.
Yeah.
Suffer together.
I think for us, like, each of those dates were planned based on like conversations. I think that first road trip that I did, we were just kind of like egging each other, like, oh, you wouldn't do this, and I was like, I would do it. Would you? And then he's like, yeah, I would. And I was like, okay, let's do it then. And then
you
he
fell
was
into a trap of like the
Yeah.
guys being like, you wouldn't do it. You
yeah,
wouldn't."
yeah.
Reverse psychology.
Yeah, so then I was like, I would totally do a road trip. And then he's like, oh, I would too. And I was like, wait, are you serious? Because if you're serious, I'm down. And then he's like, yeah, I'm down. I think it was also during the time of 2020 when no one was doing anything, and I just wanted to get out of the house, and I wanted to get away from my parents and like my family. And
Oh, so it was
Just
back
has-
in SF.
yeah, back in SF when I wanted
Gotcha.
something to do. And then, back then, like, the only things you could do was being out in nature and like being away from civilization. So then I was like, I would love to do a road trip. So we went to like Big Sur area from SF. So it's like a 3-hour drive. And then he had a car, and then he's like, I can pick you up, and then we
3
can go.
hours
Yeah. So
in a car.
in the car.
Oh my god.
Singing Hannah Montana songs, right?
Yeah. So that was already like our first date, just the car ride.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but we survived like a whole weekend together. He made it very clear after that date. He was like, oh, by the way, I'm not really looking for anything. I was like, okay, cool, I'm not either.
That's so risky though, because like, what if you ride in the car with them for 3 hours and you're like, oh,
Annoyed.
this is not
Yeah,
it.
I know.
Yeah.
I've had to. I think for me, it's also like, that's just how I am. Like, I'm pretty tolerant of people. So I can get along with most people. But I think I am more intolerant when I'm dating. So I still feel like I could run into situations where I'm stuck in a car with someone I find really, really annoying. But luckily, I think I had that FaceTime to see that he's a very, very chill person.
Is that the same experience for all your road trip dates?
Yeah, the other one, I was telling him I really want to visit the biggest Christmas festival in East Coast, which is in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. And then he's
manifesting this whole thing.
And then he's like, I could take you. And I was like, okay.
Is that was that your intention?
No.
Oh, you're just throwing it out there?
Yeah, just throwing it out there. Because I don't expect to be offered road trips as a first date, and then
sounds like the norm for you now.
No, that's your bare minimum.
Unless it's a road trip, don't talk to me.
Water? That's nothing.
So he took me to Bethlehem, and then another guy, we were talking, and I don't know what we were talking about, but then he was like, oh, by the way, like, if you're not doing anything Wednesday, I have this extra ticket to Storm King Art Center. If you want to go. And I was like, I really want to go, but I have work. And I was like, fuck it, I'll go. I'll take my meetings in the wilderness. So we went to
You're always taking the meeting in the wilderness.
No, oh my god, I felt so bad that day because I took one of the meetings on a bridge, which was, you could just hear all this wind, and I just had to be like, I'm sorry, I'm on my balcony. And then another time I was at Storm King, and there's like spotty services in certain places, and I kept getting dropped. And then I just had to tell them, I'm sorry, my Zoom is acting funny. I don't know what's happening. I keep getting dropped. Yeah. So I'm an expert in taking calls.
Oh god.
Not in my office. Yeah, so those were like
the road trips have all like gone pretty well.
Mm-hmm. They were all well. Like, I still keep in touch with 2 out of the 3 people. Yeah, that I can remember the first dates of. Yeah. I want to ask that question: how can you end a date early if you're not into them?
Oh, yeah. I know yours.
Yeah, I want to exchange ideas.
Okay, so single people ask, what is the best way to end the date early if you're not interested? So if you guys want to share your thoughts, because it's not relevant for us.
I mean, but you've been on bad
I've
dates.
ended dates early, yeah. You just say you have something else to do. And it doesn't have to be something important. So like, I gotta...
They would get a hint, right?
Yeah.
What about you girls?
I yawned. So like, I had a really bad date recently. Like the shortest date I've ever been on. I have pretty long days, right? I could go on road trips with people. This one was like 30 minutes.
Damn.
Yeah, because of how bad it was.
What made it so bad?
Well, one, he catfished. So like he looked so different from his pictures versus online. 2, there was just like cultural differences, and he also had an accent, and he was very loud. So like I would say something, and then he would laugh so loudly at it, where I would get secondhand embarrassment.
Just don't crack jokes.
Yeah. And like the thing is, like, I would say things in a straight face, and he would still like, I'm being serious, and he thinks I'm funny.
Maybe
or something.
he was nervous.
We didn't have good chemistry. I felt like he was kind of being mean to me at some points, or like kind of judgmental on what I said, and how he would like laugh at me, and even though I wasn't trying to be funny, and he was just super loud. And okay, get this, when he first asked me to go on a date, he asked me, oh, do you want to go for coffee? I said, I don't drink coffee, can we do smoothies instead? And then I was running a little bit late because my subway was delayed. And on the way there, he's like, by the way, change of plans. Can you meet at Starbucks Reserve instead? And in my head, I'm like, what can I get from Starbucks Reserve? There was none. So I was thinking like, oh, maybe Starbucks Reserve will have other things for me to drink. And I was like, okay, that's fine. I was running late, so I couldn't really say anything. Like I just had to meet him there. His reason for changing plans was because the place that he picked didn't have seats inside, and it was gonna rain, or that's what it was forecasted. So he wanted to meet somewhere in person. And then when I get there, he was like, oh, come downstairs. I was like, okay.
So demanding.
I know. I was like, you're not gonna meet me at the entrance? Like, you want me to come down to the basement or something? So then I go downstairs, I meet him, and then it's one of those things where you scan menu, and then you order from your own phone. You order the drink from your phone. And then he's like, oh yeah, just order from your phone. Meaning I had to pay for my own drink.
That you didn't want to even.
That I even want to
You
drink.
didn't even want coffee.
I was like, I'm not trying to waste money to spend time with you.
Oh god.
And drinking
get
it, not even having a
Yeah.
drink that I want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And plus, I had just come back from the beach. I was pretty hungry. So at that point, I was kind of hangry. I really wanted to eat, but I didn't want to eat with him. I really just wanted to go home and like eat by myself. He just kept asking me questions. And then sometimes the comments start getting a little inappropriate too. So then I was like, I really want to go home. So I just kept yawning again and again until he got the point. He's like, okay, we can go home soon. But then I was like, this is
Soon?
I was like, that's not soon enough. So I kept yawning more, and he's like, okay, we can go home. I was like, okay, cool, thank you. So we went home even earlier than
Oh god.
original.
So yawning is one of them.
Yeah, I just kept yawning.
Jenn'y, you want to share yours now that you have a
Just
way?
on Maze, I think it would have been funny if he was like, "Oh, you're tired? Get another coffee." I'm annoyed for you.
I
Yeah,
know.
me too.
I was like, I didn't even get my smoothie.
Okay, I have a couple. I've had enough bad dates. I usually say that I have to feed my dog. Now that I have a dog, and then the other one that I use, if I like really want to leave, like then, like I say that I'm on call and I have to go.
Oh, that's a
Yeah.
good one too.
For her job.
Yeah, even though
Yeah.
I never have to go in. Okay, I don't want people to know that. Though.
Yeah.
I don't ever have to go into the office, but I just say that I do,
Oh, that's a good one.
and then I leave.
That is a good
There
one.
was one day that was really bad. I went to the bathroom for like 20 minutes.
Oh,
Tell us.
I was just very uncomfortable. He was like,
Mm-hmm.
he kept like laughing and saying like, am I like irritating you? And I was like, what? And he was like, I like irritating people.
Oh, that would make me
Run.
so mad.
And I was like, excuse me, I have to go to the bathroom.
Oh,
And
excuse
I'm
me, I have to go home.
Yeah. And I just like, I get a little fidgety when I'm uncomfy. So I just kept drinking my drink. And then like I was done with it. And he was like, oh, what are you going to drink now?
Like
And I was
alcoholic
like, I gotta go. Yeah.
Because he was making fun of you for
Yeah.
for fidgeting.
Yeah, and I was like, I gotta
That's
go home.
fucked up.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
But
Wait, so what did you do after the bathroom?
I came back out. I was like, hopefully he's done eating because I was done.
Oh.
So I was like, he was done, and then he was like, oh, like I'll walk you to the station. I was like, sorry, I gotta go to H Mart. Yeah. So
What if they were like, I'll come with you?
Yeah.
I would have been like, oh no, it's actually he did. He was like, I'll come with you. I was like, no, it's okay. I like shopping alone. I was like,
I feel like it's up to them to like figure out the hint.
yeah.
What about you, Eddie? Did you have to ditch anyone in the past?
I've just been like, oh, I'm really tired. I gotta go.
I gotta go. Short and simple.
That's it.
Yeah.
Wait, okay. How long are your average dates? Like how long do they last?
2 hours.
Yeah, I
Mine's
think
not
mine's
great.
around 2 hours.
Like 5 to 7.
Oh, 5 to 7?
Yeah, that's bad. Because I used to do mostly coffee dates when I was trying to date seriously, and then if it goes well, it usually goes into the evening.
I see.
So that's why.
Yeah. I feel like when a guy ends it before 2 hours, I can tell they're not interested. Or I feel like they're not interested because I was like, that's so short. Like, you barely got to know me. So I just immediately think like, oh, you know that it's not going anywhere. So you're going to end it before the 2 hour mark.
I think that's pretty accurate. Like my first date with Bleep as well. It was like a few hours at a bar, and then that went well, and then we just went to get ice cream after, which was another few hours, and then we went for a walk, which was like another hour as well. So
Yeah.
when one person tries to like cut it off or end it early, you know.
Because the date that I went on most recently, we went on a drinking date. It lasted around 2 hours, but then I feel like he was we were having good conversations, and then he just like cut it, and I was like, oh, maybe he's not interested. Because if he was, he would have let me keep talking, you know? Because the conversation was still flowing. It wasn't to the point where it got awkward or anything. And I think we still had a lot of things to say to each other or like talk about. But then he cut it short. He's like, oh, like, do you want to go now? I was like, okay. So when I went home, I kind of assumed like, oh, we're probably never going to see each other again. But then that night, he asked me on the second date.
Oh, on the same night?
Yeah, the same night.
So funny.
He asked me to dinner the next night. And I was like, oh, okay. He is interested, but I think like normally I would just assume they're not interested if they cut it shorter than
How many
expected.
dates do you go on? Like on average a week?
Maybe like
The world
I feel like May goes on a lot of dates.
I do go on a lot of dates, or at least in the spring summertime.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
you should.
Yeah. There's been times I go on like 4 dates in 2 days.
You do the math. Everyone.
I've been on 2 this year.
I think Sherry's also went like below 5.
One of my friends had like a date, 2 dates lined up on the same day in the same restaurant.
Are you serious?
Wait, what?
She did like happy hour for the first date, and then she did dinner for the second date.
I see.
And I don't know if it was the same
wild.
server, but it would have been funny if it was.
That's wild.
Actually, I've done 5 dates in 2 days. Yeah.
Who with who? With who?
Well, like Hinge people.
Okay.
That's a lot of free meals.
Well, it's not all meals. Like one person took me to Mirage. One person just like did an impromptu date. One person took me to a meal. Yeah. So it's like different activities.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
I feel like your Hinge and my Hinge are very different. There's no way.
Yeah. You guys hash it out later.
Let's compare.
If you're a guy watching this, be thoughtful about how you plan out your dates. Look at their Hinge prompts. If they say peanut M&Ms, bring them.
If they say they need to feed their dog, ask for a photo of the dog to make sure it exists. I'm kidding. Don't
Stop,
do that.
Eddie.
Jenn'y has a photo of her dog.
Give her water without her asking. All right, we're going to go to Flushing and feed ourselves. So thank you guys for watching. You guys can follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Spotify, and YouTube. You guys can see the full version on YouTube and Spotify, and then shorts on the TikTok and Instagram. So if you guys want to support us.
YouTube Shorts as well.
YouTube shorts as well,
yeah.
yeah. So if you guys want to support us, give us a like, give us a follow. And we would really, really like for you guys, we would really like to communicate with you guys. So if you guys can, please comment down below and we will definitely leave a response. Not the negative comments though. We tend to ignore those. But yeah, thank you guys for watching and we will see you guys next episode. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh my god, my stomach was about to growl.